Welcome. Hi, I'm Joe Brentano. I'm the coordinator of the Capitol Visitors Center here in Topeka, and we are going to talk about the newest mural in the Capitol, the mural, the Brown versus Topeka Board of Education mural. This was installed in May of 2018 on the 64th anniversary of the landmark U.S. Supreme Court case in 1954 that would begin the process of desegregating public schools all over the U.S. This image was created by native Kansan Michael Young. He's originally from the Leavenworth area, and this is the first new mural installed in over 40 years. He used a lot of the colors in the mural to harmonize with the color palette all over the Capitol, and there's a lot to see in here. So let's begin with that. A little background on Brown versus Board. For many people in the various parts of the country, there were segregated schools. And in Topeka, we had segregated schools as well. So at the top left, we have the Sumner School. And it just so happens that Oliver Brown and his family lived close to this school. And so in the early 1950s, with the encouragement of the local NAACP, families were encouraged to enroll in the school closest to their home, which makes perfect sense. Well, they were denied. Well, what that means is Linda Brown has to walk much farther away to attend the segregated Monroe School. So at the top right of the mural, you have the Monroe School. Today, incidentally, that is a national park site, the Brown versus Board of Education Museum. You can visit and learn a lot about the case there. So this case is eventually rolled up with cases from other states. The artist has these 5 flags at the top right there. They're South Carolina, Virginia, Kansas, Delaware, and the District of Columbia. So all these cases were put together, but they're going to list Oliver Brown as the lead plaintiff because in Topeka, the schools were pretty much the same. So we're trying to compare the equal facilities. Teacher salaries were competitive and textbooks were up to date. So it would be much easier to prove a substandard facility or out-of-date textbooks. But we want to show that example that separate but equal is still unequal there. The case would be argued all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court in Washington, and in the background you have the image of the U.S. Supreme Court. It was unanimous. In 1954, all 9 justices ruled that separate but equal is inherently unequal, and that would begin that process of desegregating the public schools all over the U.S. As I mentioned earlier, there is a lot of imagery in this mural here. The focus is really the integrated classroom and that idea that we can all learn together. This artist has a lot of wonderful detail in here, but I do want to draw your attention to the gentleman in the photo frame on the teacher's desk, and he is the attorney, Thurgood Marshall, who would argue the case all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court. And an interesting bit of history, it would be Thurgood Marshall who would be appointed as the first black associate judge on our U.S. Supreme Court later in 1967. So what questions do you have? There's really a lot to see in this mural, and let us know.